Welcome into another episode of Three's a Crowd. I'm Preston Vargas alongside Eli Atwood. And Eli, how was your weekend in Utah?
It's pretty good. Had a good vacation, but I'm ready to be back.
All right, before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of hitting 100 subs by the time we fill out our brackets. I think that's in less than 3 weeks. As I understand, we're at 87 right now, so 13 more to go. I think that's a reasonable goal. Wouldn't you say?
I'd say it's definitely reasonable.
And our bracket pool is in the link in the description. Well, let's get into this episode and the U.S. capping off the Olympics in hockey with their gold medal win over Canada 2-1 in overtime. Jack Hughes scoring the game-winning goal for the U.S. What does this mean for USA hockey in general?
Yeah, definitely a big win for USA hockey. First time winning the gold since the miraculous win in 1980. So 46-year drought. Definitely a big win for us. And it was a game where a lot of people feel like the US didn't deserve to win necessarily, but they still found a way to do it, and that's what matters. Great job by the goalie. Not even gonna try to pronounce his name, but a lot of saves. So I'll give him credit where that's due.
Yeah, that goalie you mentioned, Connor Hellebuyck, 41 saves, only allowed one goal. He's definitely the MVP of that game for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You got guys missing teeth and all sorts of crazy things going on, but definitely a big win for the US.
Of course, this was marred by Sidney Crosby not playing after he injured his knee, I think, in the quarterfinal game. I forgot who they were playing, but he didn't play the last two games. Do you think that's what ultimately cost Canada the chance at gold?
I mean, it's possible. Definitely losing one of your best players is always going to be tough, but at the same time, you got to be able to come off that and be ready for the next game, next man up mentality.
And interesting with the guy who scored the winning goal, Jack Hughes. I think he was born in Orlando, if
Oh,
I
really?
I think so, but I think he was raised in Canada in Mississauga, Ontario. I think his dad was head coach of the Orlando Solar Bears, or I think an assistant maybe. But yeah, he was born in Orlando in 2001,
Yeah, that's an interesting fact.
but he grew up in Toronto before relocating to Michigan. So I want to say one of his brothers plays for Canada. I mean, the Hughes brothers, Luke, Quinn, and Jack, all professional hockey players. So yeah,
Yeah, that's definitely big. And young star. And speaking of young stars, I mean, you've got a lot of guys in the NBA who are
yes.
coming into their own. Who's your biggest young star who's impressing the most in the NBA this season? Your opinion?
I mean, the obvious choice would be Wemby, but he was the number one pick. We all thought he was going to be doing something. I'm going to go with the late bloomer here, Cade Cunningham with the Detroit Pistons. He's averaging, I think, 26 points a game and leading the Pistons to the number one seed in the East. Right now, they currently lead by 5.5 games over the Boston Celtics. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, it's definitely a good selection, leading that team. Not only just leading the team, but also being the primary guy for that team. So,
Well,
you saw him with some injury battles and whatnot, but at the same time, he has come back.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going back to like 2 years ago when everybody was thinking Cade Cunningham should be traded for a rebuild when Detroit was on that 28 game losing streak, longest in NBA history.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
I mean, it's impressive how 2 years can just flip can do a full 180 like that.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. And another guy who's kind of been coming into his own lately is Jaylen Brown. The Celtics
Oh
beating
yeah.
the Lakers 111 to 89. Brown had 32 points. What do you think of that performance there and how he's been doing without Tatum?
I mean, Jaylen Brown, I think, should be in people's consideration for MVP. I mean, he's clearly leading the Celtics to the two seed. when everybody thought the Celtics would be like down where Indiana is right now, but not that extreme. Nobody expected them to be the two seed, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely are doing beating the expectations because not only do they get rid of, or not only is Tatum hurt, but they also got rid of guys like Porzingis and
Yeah.
some of their bench. So they've definitely been overachieving this season.
Let me see who is on their bench. I know they have guys stepped up for sure.
Yeah, they've got some guys who have been able to step up.
Let me check. I Sam Hauser's he didn't have a good game last night, but he's usually playing well. Also getting Nikola Vucevic in the trade with Chicago is going to help trading Anthony Simons away, who was their sixth man. But I think him for Vucevic, you get a center in there. That's going to be good. And then Peyton Pritchard, he had 30 points for the Celtics. So, and he's always been a good six man. I think he'll probably be six man of the year again by the
Yeah, I
looks.
mean it's very possible.
So let me look at six man of the year. It's actually Naz Reid who's leading it, and it doesn't look like Peyton Pritchard's on that list for some reason. Maybe most improved. Nope, not on that list either. But right now for MVP, Jaylen Brown's plus 3,500. I think if the Celtics go on a win streak led by Jason or Jaylen Brown, get the number one seed, I think you could that's easily a good bet for MVP there.
Yeah, I'd say that's a very good bet. Definitely some other guys, but Jaylen Brown's been one of them.
We got to look at Boston's schedule coming up. It looks like they don't face Detroit again, but their schedule coming up, they got the Suns on the road on their West Coast trip, then against the Nuggets before playing the Nets at home, Sixers, and the Sixers. I think they were on a four-game losing streak at one point, closed the gap in the play-in spot. So hopefully the Magic can jump that. But Sixers seemed like an easier game than the Bucks. Hornets were not that hard of a game, but it's at home. You should win that one. Mavericks at home. If the Celtics win their easy games, you could easily see them get to the one seed.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's very possible.
And then going to the Lakers question of this, they were their opponent that weekend. Do you think the Lakers are one and done in the playoffs?
I mean, I think they have a chance to continue far. You know, when you got superstars like LeBron and Luca, if they step up, they could definitely get the win.
So right now, if the season were to end today, they would play the four seed Rockets, and Houston would have the home court advantage for a potential game seven. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, the Rockets are definitely a good team, you know, but at the same time, I feel like the Lakers have a little bit more of like a takeover in terms of like guys who are going to step up when it matters the most.
I think so too. If LeBron can stay healthy and go to the playoffs, he doesn't even have to be the main guy on that team. He can let Luca take some of the load off them.
Yeah, exactly.
So right now in the West, between the three and six seed, the Nuggets, Rockets, Lakers, and Timberwolves all within a game of each other. If which matchup do you think would be the best for the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, I really think no matter what team they get put up against here, the Rockets are probably one of the better options right now that they're looking at, but any team, I think they have a good chance because of those star powers.
I mean, for me, the Rockets. Every team in that 3 to 6 category has star power. You're right about that. I mean, Nuggets with Nikola Jokic, he's back and healthy and putting up 35, 20, and 10 yesterday against the Warriors, even though they lost that game. You got the Rockets, obviously, with Kevin Durant, Amen Thompson, all those guys, Alfred Şengün. They got a talented team down there in Houston. And then Minnesota with Anthony Edwards and Naz Reid coming off the bench for them as their six man. And those dudes are no joke. It's definitely the Western Conference is definitely the better conference this year, as per usual.
Yeah, for sure. Western Conference, at least in the past few years, has definitely been the conference out of the two, better conference.
Oh, yeah, that's been the case for nearly 20 years. Sometimes it flip-flops,
Yeah.
but most of the time it stays the Western Conference.
Hey, I'll take it. It makes it easier on the Magic at least.
We just have to do our job. We're half a game back from the Sixers for the sixth seed. Hopefully, we do our job against the Lakers on Tuesday night before
Yeah,
going
Magic
home.
needs to get it done.
We got a 4 game road trip coming up, or 4 game homestand coming up, and it's against we got Washington and Dallas included on one of those.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some easy wins, so that would be nice.
Absolutely, in addition to Houston and Detroit, I think if we win one of those games, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, I agree. The Magic have started to get back on track. We'll see if it momentum can kind of keep moving.
Abs-
And move. mm,
Absolutely, for sure. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, moving on, we've got the NFL. Offseason's about to kick off. We've got players who are going to get traded. We've also got some new signings. Free agency is about to begin. What's one big move you think should happen this offseason?
And for me, I think you're probably gonna say this one too, but I think it's gonna be Max Crosby to the Bears, trading him for DJ Moore and a first round pick. We get Max Crosby and like a fifth round pick back. I think that'll bolster our pass rush that was lacking last season. Get someone aggressive, get to the quarterback, and we don't. I don't really want to say we don't need DJ Moore, but I think the Raiders could use him as a number one receiver. And if you trade Crosby for that, you help Fernando Mendoza when he gets drafted to the Raiders in April. Finally get a number one, and then you have Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers on that offense. I think it'll help Fernando Mendoza in his rookie season for sure.
Yeah, they definitely need to target a wide receiver one to help out Mendoza.
Oh yeah. What about you? What do you think is a big move that team should make?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I do like the Max Crosby to the Bears situation. I've also seen an interesting new proposal which sees Kayvon Thibodeau heading to the Bears, also for DJ Moore, which I think could be
Oh,
interesting. A bit of a younger guy, maybe stay with the team a little bit longer.
that's definitely an interesting move. I'm the Giants. I don't know. I don't see why they would want to get rid of Thibodeau. I mean, they have Abdul Carter. We'll see if he turns into something. He matures more, not falling asleep in meetings.
Yeah, Abdul Carter's definitely not lived up to the hype so far.
It's just his rookie season. We'll see what year two brings. But I think he did get called out by Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And another move I think a team should make. How about the Kansas City Chiefs signing Kenneth Walker III? Seattle didn't franchise tag him, so he'd be an unrestricted free agent. What'd you think of that move?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could work with the Chiefs. They've lost all their star talent on offense in recent years. It's kind of become Patrick Mahomes and nobody,
Mhm.
especially now with Kelsey likely retiring. It's gonna have to get some more weapons to that offense.
And I think Pacheco's their starting running back. Correct me if I'm wrong, or
Yeah, Pacheco, I think Kareem Hunt also gets a fair amount of reps, but neither one is great.
yeah, he's not Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP, and it would help them get back there, which we would hate.
Yeah, people do hate the Chiefs.
But I think that move would be bad for Seattle in a way because I think I think you need to you need to get him ready to go. I mean, I think that two horse back with Charbonnet can help out a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Charbonnet's a solid player. He's definitely going to fill in nicely.
So whenever he comes back healthy, I think he'll be all right. Sorry about that. I had some texts coming in, but
All good.
we'll get back to the show now with our other headlines. Karl Anthony Towns yesterday in a win over the Chicago Bulls, 28 points, 11 rebounds, and they also came back from 18 to beat Houston on Saturday night. How good are the Knicks coming down the stretch?
Yeah, the Knicks recently have been contenders in the East, and I think that continues through this year. we'll just see if they can make that final hump in the playoffs and make it a little bit farther.
Absolutely. I think you don't want to see Detroit in the second round. That's the key. You want to see them in the conference finals when they're beat up. I
Yeah,
think,
for sure.
and then, excuse me, the Thunder and the Cavs win streak at 7. So Cavs on a bit of a run. Are the Thunder back? Can they win back-to-back titles?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very possible. Thunder have been pretty good this season. Obviously, they were great last year. They've still got a lot of their stars returned from last year. I think maybe all of them even. I think the only guy they lost was I don't even know if they lost anybody thinking about it. Did they lose anybody?
I don't think so. I
At least nobody, no starters, I don't think.
SGA's been hurt. I think he is still hurt, but they still won their last 2 games. They got a 2 game road trip against Eastern Conference playoff teams, Toronto and Detroit. So we'll see how that road trip fares out for the Thunder. And,
Yeah, the Thunder are an interesting case because I think they may actually have a better team this year than last year.
oh man, they could be the new dynasty.
Yeah, maybe so.
I think the Thunder are in Kansas City's TV market. I think the Chiefs or the Kansas City's blacked out for Thunder games for some reason.
Yeah,
NBA and NFL teams have been good lately.
true.
So that we move on to the 76ers, Tyrese Maxey leading them to a win over Minnesota with Maxey scoring 39 points, ending their 4 game losing streak. Like I said earlier, I, what can the Sixers do now that I think Embiid's missing some time as well?
I mean, when is Embiid not missing time? The Sixers just need to continue with the same old strategy.
He always misses time. That's no different. It's and the result's not going to be different. The Sixers will lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
And then moving on to Desmond Bain scoring 36 for the Magic as we beat the Clippers 111 to 109. Even though we lost to Phoenix in double overtime on Saturday, this was a big win for us. What'd you say?
Yeah, for sure. We definitely need to start getting some wins down the stretch. We need to get a little bit more consistent with how we're getting it. We can't have Bane dropping 36 every night, but at the same time, we'll get there.
Let me see who else contributed. I mean, Wendell Carter, he had a double-double, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Paolo, I've heard some stats. He's been a liability on offense, but
Yeah, he's kind of been struggling this season. Hopefully, he figures it out.
hopefully he does before the playoffs. I think if we weather the storm, rack up some wins while Franz is injured, hopefully he comes back healthy for the playoffs, and we have him for a healthy stretch.
Yeah, and who's been surprising? He didn't do too great last game, but Javon Carter's been doing pretty good off the bench for the Magic. Recent acquisition.
For sure. I mean, he hit that game tying 3 against Phoenix before. Or no, he hit the game go-ahead field goal with go-ahead 3 with 1.1 to go before Jalen Green hit the dagger for Phoenix. So I you're right, Javon Carter didn't score anything for the Magic last night.
Yeah, so hopefully he gets back to where he was with his first couple of games.
Mo Wagner also playing well, 9 points off the bench. He's I think he's coming back good from his ACL tear.
Yeah, it seems like he's pretty much back now.
But right now we're the 7th seed. We got to play the 2 seed Celtics if the playoffs were to start today. If we won the play-in, which we definitely want to get out of the play-in, but
Yeah, we need to get out of the play-in.
the top of the East is very competitive, and if Magic can make some noise in the playoffs, I think we could probably send Boston to 7 games. Who knows if Tatum's going to come back? If he does come back, I don't think he's going to be 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a pretty low chance.
And I think that's a weakness uh we can definitely expose for the Celtics if we match up with them in the playoffs.
Yeah, hopefully so.
And then the NFL, according to the competition committee, there is no tush push ban put up for vote this offseason. Does that surprise you?
Not really. It seems like this is the big talk of the NFL lately, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal. We've seen some teams who are able to stop it now. Bears got that forced fumble and the tush push. It's definitely not quite what it once was.
Absolutely not the formidable play it once was. And like you said with the Bears, I always say we killed the tush push on that Black Friday day.
Yeah, we definitely made him think twice.
That was a great clutch fumble for Nashawn Wright getting the win over the Bears back on that Black Friday. And
Yeah, very clutch.
hopefully, I think the I don't think the tush push will really be much of a factor much in the future. I mean, the Eagles were the only successful team at running at it, but then when the refs started patrolling offside calls and false starts, I think you really saw the impact of it diminished.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we move on to what we're watching for this week. We'll start with you first, Eli.
Yeah, you know me, I'm looking for Kansas against Houston, or I guess Houston at Kansas in a way.
Yeah.
But I think this is a big game for the Big 12. Got two of the top teams, maybe not the number one, number two team in the Big 12, but two of the best teams. And it's going to be probably the biggest college basketball matchup of the week.
Now let's see. Kansas, they did get blown out against Cincinnati, so I expect them to fall out of the top 10 because of that. And as of now, as of recording, the top 25 hasn't been released yet, but I could see Houston falling out of the top 5 and Kansas out of the top 10 with some teams rising like Gonzaga or Illinois.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Got some teams who've been doing a little bit better recently. The Kansas is a weird team because
Yeah.
it's just like,
I don't know how you
yeah,
lose by that much at home to Cincinnati.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of UCF in a way, but obviously UCF at home can usually get it done. But yeah,
And
I
also,
mean, maybe Cincinnati's just Cincinnati's a weird team, you know. They win games that they shouldn't win.
one of those middle of the pack Big 12 teams for sure. I,
Yeah, for sure. You can never count them out.
there was a stat on when I did the Kansas Arizona game on Monday that Bill Self is undefeated on Monday nights in Allen Fieldhouse.
Oh wow, that's really random, but yeah, we'll see if you can keep it up.
And we'll see. You got the number 2 team coming into town. You beat the number 1 team at home last week. Or wait,
And then you lost to Cincinnati.
but that was on a Saturday. And like we said, he's only undefeated on Mondays at home
That's true.
and Big Monday, as a matter of fact, if it's on ESPN.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with an NBA game, Battle of Firsts. The OKC Thunder taking on the Detroit Pistons. A real measuring stick game for really both these teams. We know Detroit has they've held their own this season, blowing out the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, but can they be true title contenders by beating the Thunder in the Western Conference? That's gonna be my key.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a big game, big testing game for the Pistons. Are they legit? We'll
Oh
see what
yeah.
happens.
And the Pistons got a tough stretch this week. They got the Spurs, Thunder, and Cavs before going to the Magic. So 4 playoff teams if the season were to end today. So they got a really good gauntlet coming up.
Yeah, that's definitely not an easy stretch. Good for the Magic. They're going to be tired out by the time they get to us.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so. I think that's a winnable game for the Magic at home, like I've said earlier.
Yeah, just because of that alone.
Oh yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back for another episode on Friday. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great evening, and we'll see you again next time.